What's going on, everybody? This is a segment from the Nerdgasm Talk podcast. If you like podcasts, well, why don't you come join us as the crew gets silly and Philly while we sit to talk about the latest in comics, games, movies, and all things pop culture. You guys can listen to our whole show on all the podcasts apps. We're on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, wherever you guys get your podcasts from. And make sure you guys also support the channel by subscribing to the Nerd Coalition Studios. And for the gaming needs, make sure you subscribe to Nerd Coalition Level Up. This is the Nerd Coalition. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. And now, feel the nerd. So I want to get into the movie experience because we had a big weekend for movies this weekend.
Yeah.
Barbie Heimer. That's what we about to call the weekend.
That's weird.
That both made bank. But you know what? I was like, okay, well, me and Q-Flow was supposed to go see Oppenheimer. Plans fell through on that Friday, so we sorry about that. But I am going to try to get that review out to you guys. But me and Lay Sketch went to go check out Barbie. I had a curiosity about Barbie.
I'm going to keep it a being with you.
Yeah.
After seeing Barbie, I think that I might have leaned over to the Oppenheimer side.
Ooh.
Really?
I like Christopher Nolan. I mean,
you giving Christopher Nolan some
no,
flack.
Listen. He can catch these jokes because some stuff is just joke worthy. But he makes good films, so I'll give him that.
Fair. I think you should check out Dunkirk.
So I'm like, maybe I'll check it out. It's one of them things where it's like I might need a bathroom break, but
okay. Me and Lacey want to go see Barbie, and I was mad curious about Barbie, and I was just like, okay, lighthearted, because she's not going to go. At the time, I'm thinking it because I didn't hear about this now until we recording. That I was like, she's not going to want to go see the Oppenheimer.
I only say that now after seeing the movie, and it's not like, again, we'll get into it, but
yeah,
I want to go into this with the disclaimer that I was not a Barbie kid. I was not a girl who liked Barbies and had to have all the outfits and the different Barbies and the stuff. I had Barbies because people bought you Barbies if you were a little girl. But Barbies stayed in the
Barbies by force.
What happened?
Barbies by force.
Yes. And it's like, I can't say like, oh, I never played with one, but it was never my steez.
Understandable.
You know.
So I was back curious, and so we went in and we seen Barbie, and I'm gonna tell you this, I fucking love Barbie.
Oh my gosh!
And when I went in there and saw the movie, I was just like, this movie is way more intelligent than it needs to be.
Absolutely.
This movie is way more intelligent than it needs to be, and so. First off, I'm going to go. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to give you my good, my bad, slight spoilers towards the end, and also what the it's slight spoilers because right now I'm going to start off. But automatically, I was not ready for the fandom. I was not ready for it. Q-Flow.
They was deep in there.
When we.
Deep, okay. Deep
we went to
pink.
We went to Mania. For those in Philly, you know what we're Mania because we went there, and I was like, okay, cool. Because I'm gonna be honest with you. Look, I have no problem exposing myself live or recording and stuff like this. I'm an ignorant brother. Okay, cause I was like, okay, look, we gonna go there. They're gonna be, the white girls dressed up as Barbie. It's gonna be fine. They're gonna be like, hi, Barbie, fine, whatever case might be. It was like, all right. I'll be like, and they probably gonna look at me like, oh, this guy going here go watch Barbie, right? Bro, was I wrong? I was dead wrong. I'm talking about they had urban youths. You
really have to stop.
Talking your language here. Had pink button-up shirts on.
Oh wow!
I'm not lying to you.
They was in there like they was going to the club. Old girl walked past us with a two-piece fringe set with some pigtails and some stilettos. And I said,
dead
serious, sis.
Seriously,
but still, like. Wow!
And when I say it was a diverse crowd of people, because I was just ignorant. I was like, okay, I didn't think it was going to be that many black folks there. I didn't think it was going to be that many.
See, I didn't think that. I didn't know they was gonna all be dressed like that.
They were dressed. Even the two middle-aged women, Q-Flow, that sat next to me and my wife had their pink on.
She had on little pink sequin sneakers. They had little pink dresses.
I said, "What's happening?"
They came and broke out the blankets. I said, "Oh well, this is serious." Also,
okay.
Slight disclaimer: I don't want anybody trying to dig deeper into the comments than what it was. It wasn't a thing where we only expected to see gay guys.
Exactly.
Or
white women.
We're not saying. I'm not saying regular. Like just there were men who were there with their girlfriends.
Yes.
Dressed in pink.
Homeboy with that button shorts, like, bro, that's
downs.
tight. Yeah.
Dudes coming in groups of 2 and 3, just watching the movie, chilling.
Like
I just want to say that because folks love to make it something.
Exactly. It made me feel welcome. That's basically the point I was trying to get to. Because, like I said, I was sitting in my seat like, oh, I feel underdressed. When I stepped out the car with confidence and I came through the doors like,
well then,
with my shoulders up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because the girl in front of us in line definitely greeted every single one of her friends as, "Hi, Barbie."
I was just like,
oh my god.
And then ladies came up to me. She was like, "Oh, yeah, this the kind of night it's gonna be tonight."
Because I was just like, I'm gonna rip my ears off if one more person says "Hi, Barbie," and then the movie begins and we hear it 18 times. Woo! Yeah. So sorry. Go ahead.
So, what we get here is not what I expected at all. That's why I said it's a touching movie. This is a feminist movie. This is directed by Greta Gerwig, who is known for putting those feminist type storylines in her movies. Mm-hmm. So that's
why everyone hates it.
So this is where we're going to go at here, but it's also an inclusion type movie. Also, it's more of it's a way of like, yo, we're going to preach woman power here, but we also going to understand that this is not just going to be a world with just all women or a world that's going to be all men. We got to be able to work together, and that's one thing I liked what the movie did. So, what the movie did was Barbie Land. So, what you see in the trailers, Q-Flow, those are all Barbie dolls. They're in Barbie Land. And it's fictional world. Everything is perfect. That's how the first thing starts off of how as Margot Robbie's character, everybody's Barbie. So every woman that you see is Barbie, but there's different kinds of Barbies. Mm-hmm. She's stereotypical Barbie. So she comes in there, she has a great morning, stuff like that, and then the same thing, and then she is partying with all the other Barbies. The Barbies are Arthurs, they're doctors, they're lawyers, they run the Supreme Court. And Ken's are just the background. Kind of
literally just on the beach.
On the
all
beach.
They do.
Which is honestly, when I was looking more into it today, which was a reverse spin of what Barbie was back in the 50s. Because back then, it was like the women did all that kind of stuff. They was the background while the men was in the forefront. But Barbie came along in 1959, they switched it. And that's what happens in Barbie Land. But now, when Margot Robbie's Barbie, she pops out of nowhere and she talks about, does anybody think,
anybody ever think about death?
Death, it stops everything.
The record scratched. It was like, what are you talking about, sis? We in the middle of a party with choreography.
And then she loses her tippy toes and she's feeling like, yo, what is going on? And she realizes that whoever is playing with her or doing it out in the real world is feeling some kind of sadness or something's happening, in their life. So she goes to try to travel out to the real world to see which person it is, so she can make her happy again, so Barbie can go back to being Barbie. That's the plot of the movie.
That's the whole plot, but there's lots of things sprinkled in.
A lot of things. First of all, off the bat, Margot Robbie's excellent.
She's the perfect person to play Barbie.
Which
is very funny because she's also freaking Harley Quinn. That's
exactly like cause it's like I thought like Harley Quinn is her role, but I was like, but damn, this Barbie role is for her. Like she plays it up well.
Also, there's narration done by Helen Mirren.
During the movie, yes, and I think her narration is hilarious.
Yes.
And like I say, because now, I know you know your music lady sketch. Doesn't Lizzo sing?
That was Lizzo doing the music in the beginning.
In the beginning, but it was like more of a reality based music. Yes. It wasn't like a regular track that she made. It was just like, I told her, but whatever Barbie was doing.
She was like, I woke up in the morning and now we're gonna have some waffles with some orange juice and this is great and everything's wonderful. But then by the second day, when she starts having those intrusive thoughts of death,
Yeah.
it's in the song.
It's in the song. Yeah. So.
Oh, I like that. That's clever.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this movie was very intelligent. So, Ryan Gosling does Ken, and I'm just like, God, there was a part about the movie I did not like, but he was a good Ken. Like he's like the main Ken.
Yeah, he was a good Ken.
You have that Ken, but then you also have Kingsley Ben-Air, who is Gravik from Secret Invasion. He's a Ken also in here also. And they had Sima Yu, who's Shang-Chi. He's a Ken. And he's like the rival Ken and all that. So the way they do the Kens in here, I was like, okay, it was a huge diverse cast. I don't know all the names of all the Kens that was there, but anyone you could think of from Indian to black to Hispanic to white, they had all the Kens versus in there. And all he kept doing was trying to.
They even had mermaid Barbies and Kens.
Exactly. And yo, slight spoiler, y'all. I'm telling y'all this right now. Slight spoiler. John Cena's a Ken.
Get out of here.
John Cena has a cameo as Mermaid Ken.
Oh my God.
And he is taking the role. He's loving it. All his things,
he's into it.
He's into it. I'm just like, that's great. I
think he'll take any role where he get to just be goofy. Honest to God.
Well, I don't think John Cena as of right now takes himself that serious.
No, he don't take himself serious.
So, I thought that them just establishing the cast, and then so when we go around meeting other Barbies, Q-Flow, let me tell you how I was like, the trailer deceived me because I was like, I didn't know all these women were. America Ferrera's in this movie.
Yeah, I saw that.
Kate McKinnon is in this movie. Didn't know that.
Yeah, I saw the press run, so I knew they were in it, but I didn't know who they were.
So, Alexander Shipp is in this movie. Didn't know that.
Finally, something I can get behind that she's in.
Yes.
She been striking out with Bieber, personally.
Yeah, fair. And I was like, I didn't know all these women was in this movie. And like I said, I only seen one trailer. But I didn't know all these women was in this movie.
Oh, and Issa Rae.
And Issa Rae actually was in there.
President.
She was the Barbie president. Now, don't worry, I'm going to get, because I saw what your text said the other day, Q-Flood. I'm going to get to some of the things in the bad of how I felt about certain things. But,
I got a lot to say about the bad, bro.
Okay. And the message, overall message she's doing, and even Will Ferrell's in this movie, and he's actually funny. Because you know me, I'm just like, I ain't got time for Will Ferrell. You know what I'm saying?
He can be a bit much.
He can be
depending on what he's doing.
But he plays the CEO of Mattel. So when they when they find
and Rhea Perlman too.
She's in this as well. Exactly. They have cameos of these women playing different Barbies that were real life discontinued Barbies.
Yes, all of the women
that's fire.
Yeah.
All of the women in here who played a Barbie, they were some kind
of Barbie that actually exists. They even had when they said, "Oh, this right here is." Forgot her name, Pregnant Barbie. Midge, the Pregnant Barbie.
I remember Pregnant Barbie. There was a lot of outrage about Pregnant Barbie for whatever reason.
Yeah, or Michael Cera, who played, was it Alan?
Alan.
Yeah, who was
He's one of Ken's buddies.
One of Ken's buddies. He got discontinued, and they was in there playing the role like, okay, well, they're over here in the background because they've been discontinued. They're not really in here for the Land of the Barbies type thing.
They don't get to be like in the house. They had like one of them lived in the Barbie tree house. She had a Barbie, the Barbie car, and it was a whole like anything that you could think of that was an extension of the Barbie universe was in the movie somehow.
Yeah,
even if it was just in the background.
That's crazy.
Yeah, exact. So then when they get to the real world, and Ken wants to come with her, and when they finally get to the real world, see, Barbie is very ignorant to the point like, hey, Barbie, is this great feminist icon, and she is sitting there. She has changed the world because of how everything is in Barbie land. So when people go there, they're going to greet her with one great big. All the women going to greet her with one great big hug and say thank you.
She really thought that. It's so unfortunate.
And she thought even the narrow say that's what she thinks. Then when she got to the real world, and she meets this girl named Sasha, who she thinks is the girl that's playing with her, she read her for Phil. And I'm not talking about like, yo, get out of here, you bitch. It wasn't even like that. she read her for filth of what the problem with Barbie is today.
Ooh.
And everything that is true, but with the problem with the whole stature of what Barbie is today, she ran her for filth in that. And I was just like, oh, this movie's going here. So when you get to the real world, and then she realizes that, you know, these women don't love me here.
Heck no.
Especially in this in this thing, I'm just like, okay.
Then she start crying. Oh, they got locked up twice. They got arrested twice.
I thought the arrest scene was funny.
They were funny.
Yeah, and that's one thing about this.
Barbies got arrested?
Yeah, so when they come out of Barbie Land, right? They are in their Barbie and Ken roller skating outfits, like exactly from the toy.
Jesus, that was
with the bright neon rollerblades with the red stuff.
Yeah,
they coming out of there, and then they in LA, so all the men is looking at Barbie like, "Hey, yo, ma, I'm about to."
And they're like cat calling her.
Exactly, and she's like, what? Like, what's going on here? And then Ken is sitting there, like, all the dudes is complimenting him, like, "Yo, man, look at your joint, look at your girl."
Or they're laughing. Is there the laughing, or just like, "Oh my God, you guys are beautiful" kind of thing?
Exactly. Ken is getting sucked up into the reality world and realizing all this stuff that men can do.
Yes, he was like, men rule everything out here.
Exactly. So why can't we rule that back in Barbie Land?
And also,
he
decides to take, instead of just taking all of what is happening out here with men, he takes the example of the asshole super macho men.
Exactly.
So he's just like, oh, they're like putting their hand up to tell their assistants to go away. They're working out and doing the MBD grunts.
Exactly.
As we call them.
And as we see, he sees like this old picture of Sly from Rocky with the whole mink coat he had on in Rocky 3. And he like, oh, we gonna get one of these. Up there looking like, what's that? Conor McGregor?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
So that's what he took from this. He didn't take anything else from this but the fact that men rule everything in the real world, and they do all the super weirdo macho stuff that you would see. That's what he took back to Barbie Land.
Yeah, and he takes that back to Barbie Land and name it Kendom.
Named it what?
He names it Kendom.
Like, instead of kingdom.
Kendom, yeah.
And they brainwash all the Barbies.
All the Barbies.
A bit of ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, but no, yeah, I'm saying, but I'm not trying to go like shot for shot. But I'm saying, but yeah, I thought those were like some good plot points of the movie that I really enjoyed, and like I said, how each character really just played their part well. And when we got introduced to America Ferrera, and she comes in and she meets a Barbie, and it comes to find out that, slight spoilers, that she was the one that was playing with the Barbies. It wasn't her daughter that flamed Barbie when she first got there. It was her, and about all the stress that she's been dealing with. There's a monologue in this movie.
And she works at Mattel.
There's a monologue in this movie where she gets up and she just tells it like it is about all the problems that women are facing today, and that they're still facing, and what the problem is, and like breaks it down to the point. I was just like, now it didn't happen in our theater, but I've been seeing theaters they've been standing ovation for, and been clapping for their. Now we got a couple of churches like, that's right, in our theater. Mm-hmm. But when I said clap, I was like, it was a very well done. Like, if you sensitive to, especially if you're a man, bro, you got to get over that, because
that's why you see a lot of these reviews out here saying, oh, this movie is anti-man and don't take your kids. It's not for kids. From jump. When nobody told you to take your kids.
Here's the thing. It ain't coming because it's fine, because it's the message is going to go over their head. It's colorful. They're going to see some things like that, but anything like below 10, like, I wouldn't take my daughter to go see this because it's going to go over her head. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I really think the target, like I told him when we were going in, the target demographic for this, when I saw just the trailers, I was like, this is not a kid's Barbie. This is the target demographic for this is the kids who grew up in peak Barbie era.
Exactly.
The Gen Xers, the older millennials, even into the, like, I guess the tippy top of the Gen Z era.
Yeah. That's
when Barbie was still like Barbie.
Yeah.
But now, I don't think that's these kids now don't, what's the word I want to say? They don't play with Barbie the way that we did. She's not as
Yeah.
big of a. I'm not gonna say she's not an icon, but it's not as big of a brand as it once was.
Exactly, and they even explained that even in the beginning of how they used to play with dolls, and the only thing they could do with baby dolls was be mothers.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
To the point where it's just like when Barbie came along, they start breaking all them dolls down. It was like, yo, man, we can play as women, and I was like, strong message here. So
Yeah.
those are the positives that I liked about it. Just off the bat. Okay, so going into some of the negatives about the movie.
Act 3.
Okay. She goes Act 3. I'm gonna be real. So before we get into Act 3, as Lady Sketch calls it, I do agree with what your wife was saying, Q-Flow. A lot of the Barbies that, of course, people want to see are a lot of psychers are underdeveloped.
Mm-hmm.
In some ways. They could have had more screen time. Now, same goes for like Issa Rae, right? She plays the president. She's President Barbie. Did she have a lot of time in the movie? No, but did she have time in the movie? Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's what I heard.
Yeah,
Just not a lot.
I'm saying, could it have been like a little more time? Because it's like because there was so many Barbies, so it's like they was trying to give enough time to each Barbie, but then when you do that, you don't give enough time to anybody. You know?
Yes, it's like y'all
Mm-hmm.
shorted everybody because you wanted to squeeze so many people in.
Yeah.
But and even Issa Rae was saying like it was a part that got left on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Where she gave a like props, I guess, to Christy, who was the first black Barbie.
Yeah.
But they cut that out.
Uh-huh.
And it's like it would have been cool. It's a cool little nod. Most people probably wouldn't have got it, but it's like there was not enough time in the movie for us to get much of anybody else besides main Barbie and main Ken.
Yeah. Because like I said, because they did everybody got some kind of screen time, but it wasn't enough to fully establish a character. Like sometimes I had to go back and look at the poster to see which Barbie this was. Like, I had to go back to the poster to see that Alexander Ship's Barbie was the prize winning Arthur Barbie.
Okay.
Yeah, then I had to go. Then Issa Rae was the President Barbie. Then we had the Dr. Barbie. Then we had the Supreme Court Barbie. And so I was like,
the only one I can tell you for sure I remember is Weird Barbie.
Kate McKinnon as Weird
God.
Barbie.
Perfect
Perfect casting for that. And here's the thing: Kate McKinnon does not get that much screen. I think she get less out of Issa Rae. To be honest with you,
but her character is memorable.
It's memorable.
She's
kind of
like integral to the plot, I guess. So
yeah, so it just wasn't, unfortunately, and because what I'm saying, I love my girl Issa Rae, and especially with me getting into Insecure, and I was like, yeah, I would love to see her in there more, and I would love to see a lot of I would love to see Alexander Shipp more. I would love to see Kate McKinnon more. I would love to see. There's a lot of the Barbies that's there. That what was the I hate to say plus size Barbie, but the one
might have just been her stick because I don't remember what her thing was.
That was the girl from Pitch Perfect, was it?
No, that's
No,
not
okay,
her. She's
okay.
not. She lost a lot of weight.
Okay, yeah.
But it's not her.
But I was just like, she was funny to me, and I was like, I would have liked to see her.
I don't remember what hers was because they just talked about it in passing. Like
exactly.
They did those awards.
Yeah.
It would tell you like what this Barbie was known for.
Exactly.
But it was the only mention you got of it.
Yeah. That was the sucky part about it. It's like you give so and the same things with the Kens. Like, okay, Ryan Gosling's the main Ken, right? But then the next two in line was going to be Simu and Gravik from Secret Invasion. Those were the ones that got the most of the Kens, and all other Kens was just like there. I mean, you seen them; they made somebody, but those were the three Kens that got the most time and most screen time, stuff like that. And that's still in a movie that don't give them that much time.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So those things. So I'm like, okay, yeah, obviously, of course, Margot Robbie's going to be the main one, obviously, right? Because I'm saying, but even with that, even America Ferrera did get some good time. That I didn't know she was going to get that much time. So I'm happy for because she needed to be part of the part of the movie. So that was like going into the third act. So what Lady Sketch talk about there in the third act, because after Ken turns Barbie Land into Kendom, and he just takes it over, and it's like they destroying everything, and man is ruined. He got all the Barbies serving the Kens on the beach, or just doing very what's the words I'm looking for?
Like, it's patriarchy. They mentioned the word patriarchy a few times in this movie. I'm sure that's probably a sticking point for folks.
Yeah.
But what his interpretation of patriarchy was, he thought it was really just we drink beer and watch horses on TV and play video games. That's what he thought it was.
Yeah.
And the women serve you.
That's exactly how I thought it was. So, when he had a singing number, which, here's the thing, even slipping on it, I didn't mind the singing number, but it went way too long. It's just my personal opinion.
Yes, it went too long, especially considering that I don't know if anybody else in the movie really had a song like that. Besides the song that Barbie had when, like, that Lizzo was singing in the background, what she was doing, nobody else in the movie had a song. So it stuck out like a sore thumb. And it was... That
the man would get the song?
No, it just stuck out like a sore thumb because there was this long-ass song.
Yeah.
It was just like, okay, you know how you have a song and then it's like, all right, we ramp it up. Like, okay, we about to wrap this up, right? No, we're going to transition to a whole nother scene with the song. What's happening here?
It's to the point I was just like, wait a minute. What were they supposed to do? So
I lost sight of what was happening.
Even in the film, when they stop singing and then Gravity comes to, he's like, hey, weren't we supposed to vote today? And I was like, that's what we were here for. Damn, I forgot. I got so carried away. It was just like, hey, you know, when it's like, hey, yo, we're going off tangent. Let's go back to, the story plot. And I felt this. I was like, man, that was a little bit too long. It felt long. I didn't go back and really time it. Yeah, but that whole singing number just felt long. And I was just like, I didn't necessarily appreciate that so much.
Yeah, I just felt like everything in the last bit of the movie, from the time where they start trying to figure out, after they do the whole thing where they're trying to get everybody back on board, we're trying to get Barbie Land back to the way it was, it kind of, the rest of it was just like, okay, what's going on? Like, they had a Ken thing, the Kens are fighting, the Kens are singing, the Kens are dancing, a lot of Ken. I got way more Ryan Gosling in this movie than I think I needed to. And then Rhea Perlman, who is the creator of Barbie, shows up. And I was just like, okay.
No, I ain't gonna lie. That part was heartwarming. I like that part.
I'm not saying it wasn't heartwarming. Everything seemed all over the place because now you've got everything. It's the climax. Everything's coming and clashing together. Yeah. It's just you got the Kens, then the executives that have come into Barbie Land. Then she came into Barbie Land, and I was like, what's going on? Then the little montage of the women just, I don't know, maybe because these women may have been notable to like Barbie's history.
Yeah.
But it was just like, hey, take my hand, and then it's just a montage of photos of women doing stuff.
Yeah.
And then I guess she goes into the real world after that.
Well, see, that I'm gonna disagree with you because it was a more powerful message of her taking Barbie. Like, hey, I want you to understand that because at the end of the movie, Q-Flow, kind of like a little Pinocchio thing. She wants to be real.
Yeah.
And this is starting to sound like whatchamacallit? Life Size.
You said who?
Life Size.
Life Size.
I've seen this very comparison, and I'm gonna be honest, they're right.
Yeah.
It's don't make me go so far as to say Living Single and Friends, but it's definitely giving Life Size. Have you ever seen Life Size?
I have not seen Life Size.
Okay, so Life Size is a movie from back in the 90s, I think it was.
The 90s.
Tyra Banks is a doll.
Yeah.
And she comes into the real world.
No, now I know who's in there supposed to be. I never seen it.
And and she comes into the real world,
and
it's the same thing, just a bunch of mishaps. But then she wants to be real. That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah, well,
all of these are just the Pinocchio storyline, if we're being frank. But yes, that's what this sounds like.
Yeah, that's what it was. And when her being like, life size, and her, the creator was like telling her, hey, this is what life is going to be like, and there's death in life. and know what you're getting in for. And that's what the whole thing was. And at the end, they have the joke about her going in there and she's getting ready for her gynecology report because that
was pretty funny.
Yeah, because at the beginning of the movie, when they first come out of Barbie Land, she was just like, we don't have any genitalia. So yeah, we don't have genitals here. Yeah, and then but at the end, she's going to get her gynecology because she's growing up, and she takes the name of the creator of Barbie's daughter.
That's who Barbie's named after.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so
Barbie is named after. I didn't look it up, but I was wondering if it was true that like she got in trouble for tax evasion and all of that. But that was funny. And there was a lot of little nods in here about things that people have done outside of here.
Yeah.
Like there's a part where America Ferrera and her husband, who's trying to learn Spanish, and he's like, what did he say? Si te puede. I know I'm messing it up. I'm so sorry, you guys. But I was like, didn't she say that in like Sister of the Traveling Pants or something like that? It was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but she did. There was little callbacks.
It was so called like if y'all really gotta go watch New Rockstars to get all the callbacks. I'm just telling you because right now they can break that stuff down. But we going to review the movie and look at the end of the day, I really enjoy. Even at the end credit scene, they broke down like, hey, this is what these Barbies were. They were just to help people out.
Yes, and, the Allen, because that's how we saw these kids, buddy. That was funny to me. Like,
exactly.
Why did y'all make a friend for Ken? I'm confused.
And after the movie was done, I was just like, I enjoyed myself. I really enjoyed myself. I was like, look, I ain't say people gonna hate the movie. I ain't say people not gonna like the movie. But I'm saying, but the movie made $155 million this weekend.
That's crazy. Because when we checked it, wasn't it at like 70?
Yeah.
That's wild.
Made $155 million. I think that's the highest grossing movie this year so far. For opening weekend, not all time. For opening weekend. And I was like, $155 million. The theaters was packed. The atmosphere was crazy. And I just something I was not even expecting. And so I was just like, this is and I really enjoyed it. Out of all the movies I've seen this year so far, this is in my top 10. I am proud to say that. I'm happy I went to go see it. And I'm not saying I think Oppenheimer will probably do the same thing and probably be in my best movies of the year also once I go see it. I'm saying, but right now, Barbie is definitely in there especially from the stuff I've seen since Fast X. Yeah. I mean, literally everything I've seen has been better than Fast X. So I'm just like,
here's my thing. I think I enjoyed it a lot more than I anticipated because the nostalgia factor of just Barbie itself is like, it's cool. It's a cool driving factor. But if you are really into Barbie, then it'll hit home for you. And I was like,
or if you're just into a very intelligent movie that has a message. It's not. This thing got a 90 on Rotten Tomatoes right now.
I just meant for the nostalgia factor.
Oh yeah, okay, fair enough.
That kind of thing was like, okay, I enjoyed this more than I thought I would. I did check out after the Ken thing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, because what is happening right now? But overall, it was enjoyable.
But yeah, I like it. So when it comes to my rating, I'm gonna give it a B. I think I'm going to steal what Jeremy Johns be calling his B movies, like buy it on Blu-ray, because I will definitely buy this on Blu-ray when it comes out. So I was like, it's a B for me. I really enjoy it. I am sorry that people who went there who did not like the movie, but it's not a terrible movie. It's just
I'm not.
It's
sure.
not for me.
This is my thing. All the things that I've heard about it. It wasn't people who could give you a constructive criticism reason why they did not like the movie. They just didn't like it for its overall themes. Yeah. I would give it a B-.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's a buy on Blu-ray, buy it out the Blu-ray discount bin. I don't know. But
that's worse than hashtag give it a chance.
I would give it a B-.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it for the most part, and I, like you said, it was more intelligent than I anticipated it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I laughed, like actually laughed, because I hate when I go to a movie and y'all do the forced laughter, and it's like, no, I genuinely laughed at
I genuinely
a lot of the parts in this movie.
I really genuinely laughed at the jokes in this movie.